Hi, Mark Shepherd. I'm an acupuncturist in Donington, Chichester, West Sussex. And first, to kick off, a huge thank you to the NH staff and the key workers everywhere who are doing such a fantastic job and facing such a huge crisis. So thank you to all of those. So today too, and I'm going to be looking down a lot because I want to stay on track here. This is day 2 of increasing our understanding of how we tick to help us access some of our inner resources. So this is going to be some theory relating more particularly to one of the acupuncture styles that I do and how we can possibly maybe use it to help ourselves. So with this situation, or in life generally, I want to point out that if you are really struggling emotionally right now, then please do go onto the NHS website and look at where you can phone for assistance, okay? So if you're really struggling, do those steps. Just have a look, pick up the phone, and please talk to someone. So, and again, like I say, you're going to be looking at the top of my head a lot today because I want to make sure that I do this as I've done it. So, more in particular to one of the acupuncture styles that I practice, in terms of how it actually treats people, is there being 5 different people types. The theory is which one we are in can determine how we primarily react to situations and react to life. And this could be quite positively, or it could be negatively, or even a combination of the two. If we recognise which group we're in, it can help us understand how we actually respond to life the way we do. Also, it lets us know, because we're in that group, we do have the capacity. The capacity is somewhere there to be responding in a more positive way. So, the negative traits, if you like, can appear because we're tired, run down, under pressure, or that simply we just don't realise that the positive traits are actually there or even accessible to us. But we are part of these groups. And so while the negative bits can be there, positive can too. We just don't know what we don't know. So we have to be able to find these things or be shown that they're there in the first place. So my suggestion is, let's have a look at the next one, which is going to be fire. So, and before I do that, it's going back to my notes. As well as understanding our own behaviour, it helps us understand the behaviour of the people around us, our nearest and dearest, or maybe the people that we're working with, and how they're responding in particular situations. So, okay, getting on to today's group, which is a fire group. So, fire types, the responses and emotions are particularly about their experience or ability to show or actually feel joy and warmth, and their ability or otherwise to be able to sift information and their own thoughts and emotions. So the less positive defaults that they might find themselves experiencing could be the situation of the tears of a clown, where someone is the absolute life and soul lighting up a room, but they're just unable to feel that for themselves. They're unable to find their own joy and experience that joy. They can be people pleasers. Now, people pleasers can be there for 2 different reasons. Within the fire element, it can be more that they feel a huge responsibility for the happiness of others, and so they knock themselves out trying to be whatever that person needs them to be. There are different types of people pleasers as well, and some of these can be due to life circumstances or our interpretation of them. So if someone's safety depends on them not upsetting somebody else, that can develop a trait of people pleasing, but that's due to self-protection. It's different. But clearly no less valid. So they can have the inability to show joy, or it's just that they've become detached from it. They have the inability to, or have an inability to sort information or their thoughts. The thinking can be foggy. They can't pull out the bits that they want to do in terms of their own, in terms of information or their own emotions or how to respond to situations. They can feel too open, as if they're really exposed, that like their heart and emotions are really exposed to the world. So things they see on TV, things that are happening around them, the sorrow of others can really hit them quite poorly, have quite a significant impact upon them beyond what it would do normally. Alternatively, they can be quite closed and they feel cut off and are unable to actually engage in relationships. But what are the potential attributes these people could have? Okay, these could be I'm able to appropriately feel joy and share it with others. It could be I have the ability to be discerning in sort of relationships, in terms of sifting information, what is the right thing, what's the appropriate thing. I do know how to think and feel clearly. And I don't have to say yes to everyone in case that it upsets them if I say no. So yes, I can show joy and be up and help others be uplifted, but it's not my responsibility to make sure that everybody is uplifted. I can do it, and I also choose not to do it and sort of have boundaries there. So, and you can kind of think of your joy as a fire. So joy is in the fire category, and fire goes up and down in terms of how it burns. And it's just an analogy for how laughter can go up and down, but also people's moods can go very much up and down, and it can be over a very short space of time. But like a fire needs to be fed. We need to find ways of nurturing it. So acupuncture theory has points that help with these states, these feelings when people are feeling taxed, the more negative defaults. But in the current conditions, I'm not able to do acupuncture. It's not the time to be able to do that safely in terms of us, in terms of social distancing. But I think that by realising what type we're in and how we respond can help us respond more towards our true potential. Because once we realise we're part of that group and the potential is there, we can start trying to realise it. My suggestion for now is simply some gentle self-talk and self-encouragement. So when I listen to business coaches, I can hear them saying, a number of coaches will say, write your goals as if they've already happened. I have achieved this. I have achieved that. And that is sort of like the daily emotional mental input. And it's just treating it the same here. So when I wrote the positive aspects just now, I did them all from the point of view that they were already in place. So this is not supposed to be some huge act of will, that if I do this 5,000 times a day and really concentrate, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about gentle self-encouragement. So we've almost been in a situation, I would presume, where we're about to do something difficult and you say to yourself, come on, I can do this. And this is no different. So I find this personally helpful. And so it'd be great to hear how you find it. So if you're someone who finds it hard to find joy, you can just say to yourself, I'm able to experience joy. I am able to experience joy. Just be gentle, assertive, and then do it. And so it might be someone just trying to work something out and thinking to themselves, they are recognising that unable to sort through information. Just stop, say to yourself, I'm really good at sorting through information. I can really do this. Then try and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? Just give it a go. So again, this is not an act of will, but an appreciation of the potential that you may have and trying to realise it. So in terms of what we've been talking about, that's 2 people types down, 3 to go. If you're finding this helpful or interesting, please do let me know. So I do genuinely find this interesting. I do find this helpful for myself. You can't always face a situation and go, wait, I'm just going to stick a needle in my arm. But when you have treatment, it kind of like builds up within you. But in those situations, you can kind of do it for yourself. So with fire elements in particular, I think it's really good to feed the joy. There is 2 of my teachers, John and Angela Hicks, wrote a book called Healing Your Emotions. Within that, they have an exercise called the Inner Smile. And what you do, I'm going to try and quickly do this in the last 30 seconds, is you just go sit peacefully and smile. Feel the effect of the smile, because when we smile, it's hard not to feel the feelings of joy and warmth. And the idea is you feel that just filling your body and then emanating outwards. So just try it, just stop for a minute and just smile and just feel the warmth in you and just start feeding your fire. Right, okay. I hope that's helpful. I hope it's interesting. And take care, everybody. Please do stay safe, and we'll catch up soon.